Today, I want to share with you guys the productivity system that has been absolutely changing the game for me, especially without the 9-to-5 structure during my time of being unemployed. I've really turned to time blocking to give me a sense of structure and to just kind of help me make sure that I'm spending my time well and that I know where my time is going. I tend to gravitate towards doing this by hand, so I use these colored pens to represent different categories of tasks. I've just been using a sort of old planner that happened to have the time blocking chunks. However, for the purpose of this video, I thought that I would give you guys a template so that if you want to try out time blocking, but you don't really know where to start, you have a template that's like super easy to use, very self-explanatory, and has all of the elements that I have been writing in whenever I'm doing this system already right there and ready to go. Isn't she gorgeous? I think it looks so nice. This will be linked down in the description if you want to get it, and we're going to be using it today so you can see what it looks like and how to use it and all that. It can be printed, obviously. It fits perfectly onto an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. If you want to use it digitally, you can do that too. I'm going to be using it digitally today solely for the purpose of it being easier to show you guys what I'm doing on the screen if I do it digitally. However, in my actual day-to-day life, I think I would print it out. It's going to be available completely for free, and let me know if you end up using it. I'm going to be using Procreate just because I already have it, but I know that there are free apps that you can use if you did want to use this template digitally. I think GoodNotes is a free app option for digital planning. Okay, so I just spent 30 years trying to figure out how to screen record on my iPad, but we are back in business. Time blocking template made for you with love by Braille Juliet. That's me. First things first, we need to fill out the date. So we have this section at the top. This is very much inspired by what I was naturally doing with my physical planning before I even wanted to create this template. I noticed that I really liked having the date nice and big, and it bothered me when planners just had a little spot for the number of the date in the corner. Kind of random, but it was a pet peeve of mine. So for this template, we have it nice and big at the top. I apologize in advance for how awful my handwriting is going to be. I suck at writing with one of these. So we're gonna go ahead and plan for tomorrow because today is half over and I already planned for today. Okay, so tomorrow will be Tuesday, September 12th. Next, we're going to tackle this key. So I really like to create a key on my time blocking sheets to basically designate different categories of tasks that I'm going to be doing throughout the day. The reason that I really like this, well, there's several reasons. One, it helps you to get a better glimpse at your day from more of a faraway standpoint. You can see what colors are going on and what your day is going to be mainly taken up by. So, okay, I can see that today is going to be really focused on deep work, or really focused on like chores and tasks like that, or today's really dominated by social things. You know, you can get a quick look at your day because of the colors and the ease at processing the colors. And I feel like it helps me to make sure that I'm balancing my days as well as prioritizing what I want to be prioritizing in my day. For example, if there's no deep work or creative work on a day spread, if I don't use any of that color, that's a red flag to me because it means I'm going to be in a shitty mood, because I usually am if I don't do any deep work and I'm just doing like chores and stuff. That's why I really like to use the key. It also just makes things a little prettier. So let's go ahead and fill that out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select a color for each of the main categories that I usually have tasks in. I'm just scribble filling in these little boxes, and as you can see, the template has the boxes and the equal signs so you can fill in everything. I didn't want to put specific categories because I know for each person it's gonna be different. Okay, I selected 6 colors. Now we're gonna go ahead and label everything. So let's make the light blue deep work. Oh my god, I'm like incapable of writing on this screen. Pink will be appointments. Green, let's go ahead and make fitness. This orangey color, I think we'll do social. The light sort of cream color will be life admin. Life admin is sort of an umbrella term that I like to use for chores, but also like if I have to send an email or I have to message somebody back. If I had to mail something, I'd probably put it as life admin. Any miscellaneous kind of annoying task that I have to do. I can't think of any other categories right now, so we're just gonna stick with the 5, but if I think of something else, I'll assign it to purple. Then I have this section over here for top priorities. So this would be like tasks that I know I really want to get done tomorrow. Tomorrow, my boyfriend's working, which means it's a great opportunity for me to work on YouTube stuff, filming, etc. So I'm definitely going to put to film a video on here. Film having no friends. You guys have seen the trend of like, I'm 25 and I have no friends, or why I have no friends and why it's okay. I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon a little bit. And I also would love to film part 1 of my freelancing video. And then I also want to make sure I practice singing. I'm trying to be a lot more consistent with singing practice throughout the week, especially on days where my boyfriend is working. I want to make sure that I'm practicing. Practice singing. And the last goal that I'm gonna put on here, which is really aligned with my monthly goals, is to do some sort of mindfulness practice, whether that's yoga, meditation. Lovely. Okay, so now we have the whole top section of this filled out. Now we're ready to get into the actual time blocking. So all of that is to kind of give us an idea of what we're putting into the time blocks, as well as what categories we have to look out for. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. So to give a quick overview of what we have going on in the template, I have everything broken down into half-hour chunks, so you can schedule as specifically as the half hour. If you have more specific times, you can just kind of do a little line in the middle. But that's what I went with because that's what I've been using and I like it. I have it starting at 7 a.m. So for any of you extreme early birds that are for some godforsaken reason doing anything of consequence before 7 a.m., I'm so sorry. The template does not start any earlier. The one that I've been using starts at 6 a.m. and I never schedule anything until like 9 or 8 at the earliest. So 6 a.m. felt like overkill. Plus it was more important to me that we got some of those later times in there. So this template goes all the way to 10:30 p.m. especially for my fellow little side hustlers. We be doing shit late into the night. So it was important to me that the template went a little later. Each time is connected to the line directly below it. First things first, I like to put in any appointments, classes, things I have scheduled for specific times so that I know when I have to be doing very specific things. Like I have no choice. I need to be at this place. I need to be doing this thing. And then I can schedule around it the tasks that I want to do. I do have a lovely little dentist appointment in the morning. I have to get my teeth deep cleaned, which if you've ever done that, you know it sucks. They have to numb your mouth. It's a whole thing, but that's what I'm going to start my day with tomorrow. So that's at 9:20 a.m. Things tend to take a little bit longer than you think. So I always like to overestimate. Let's say that this appointment takes me all the way to 11 o'clock. Hopefully it will not. That sounds literally awful. The other thing that I've scheduled for tomorrow is a Pilates class at 5:30 p.m. So that's obviously in the fitness category, which we decided was green. I knew there was no shot I was getting to a class before my dentist appointment. I would have had to go to the 7 a.m. class, which is not happening. But 5:30 I can do. So let's go ahead and put that in. That'll be about an hour. I'm obviously doing that through ClassPass. If you've ever wanted to try ClassPass, I do have a referral link that will get you, I think it's 48 free credits. Why did I write Pilates class so much more messily than I wrote dentist appointment? All right, let's go ahead and start scheduling in the top priorities, starting with the filming. So realistically, I think we could for sure get to filming by 2 at the latest. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that's gonna take me some time. Let's go ahead and assume that filming is gonna take me all the way till 4:30. That might be overkill, but I'd rather, again, err on the side of more time than less. Film, YouTube, videos. That's gonna be both videos that I wanna work on tomorrow. I'm just gonna put them together into one filming chunk because hopefully I'll be able to knock all of that out in the same sort of time frame. Since I only have a 1 hour gap between filming and the Pilates class, I don't think that'll be enough for singing. So we're gonna go ahead and schedule singing after that. Let's assume that I'm gonna want to shower and eat dinner after the Pilates class. Realistically, I could probably get to singing by 8. And let's say I do that for 2 whole hours. It's ambitious, but we're trying to hope for the best case scenario here. So if you're wondering what deep work is, in case you're not familiar with the term, deep work basically refers to any creative or just intense task that you want to be completely focused on and where you're really doing something of substance or consequence. So for example, checking your email, not deep work. Writing a book, deep work. Filming a YouTube video, deep work. Editing a YouTube video, deep work. So I use it as kind of an umbrella term for any sort of larger, usually creative or intellectual task. If you were still in school, I feel like writing an essay would be deep work, but for me, it's mainly usually creative stuff. Also, even though I'm planning all of this the day before for the purpose of this video, sometimes I will make some of these decisions a little bit more in the moment. Sometimes I'll just put in like my appointments and stuff, and then as the day progresses, I will kind of see how are things going? What am I feeling like I need more of in my day right now? Especially if things in my day are subject to change, or maybe I don't know what time I'll have the apartment because I don't know when my boyfriend's leaving for work, etc. If I feel like I need that flexibility, sometimes I'll schedule my day throughout the day. So maybe I'll do my first couple time chunks in the morning, go through all that, see how it goes, then reassess around lunchtime and schedule my afternoon. So that's an option too if this is feeling like too much detail to be deciding in advance. I totally get that because, you know, what if something takes longer and then you have to reconfigure the whole structure? Definitely feel like this can still work even if you're just planning a couple chunks at a time or kind of doing it as you go. So from 6:30 to 8. We're just gonna categorize this as life admin because I don't really know what else I would consider it. I'm gonna shower, eat dinner. Sometimes I will lump several tasks into the same time chunk. Most often I'm doing that with life admin tasks because they're typically smaller things that I can kind of do semi on autopilot, and they're just easy to kind of lump together, get them all done at once. Then we have this mysterious time chunk between filming and Pilates. Some of that's gonna be taken up with getting ready for my Pilates class, but I will probably have a few extra minutes in there. So I'm gonna dedicate that to kind of miscellaneous life admin tasks. Anything that comes up throughout the day that I'm like, oh, I kind of have to do this annoying petty task. So that's the afternoon, pretty much scheduled. And as you can see, it's being taken up with just a few core activities, but those deep work tasks, they are typically chunkier. They take up several hours. So not surprised that my afternoon filled up pretty quickly. So the last top priority task that we haven't really scheduled in is some sort of mindfulness practice. I definitely think that that can fit in after my dentist appointment. I'm learning things. I just figured out how to make a color palette in Procreate. So exciting. That mindfulness practice, not really fitting directly into any of these categories. So this is a good opportunity for us to give purple some time to shine. Okay, we're gonna make purple self-care. Lovely. So let's go ahead and schedule that in from noon to 12:30. I'm gonna put in meditate/yoga. That'll be a game time decision, whatever I'm feeling like tomorrow. And this is where things get a little bit fuzzy because I'm gonna be with my boyfriend. So what time things are happening at will depend a little bit on him as well, and like when we eat lunch and stuff like that. So that might shift around a little, but all that matters to me is that sometime in between the dentist and filming my videos, I do some meditation or some yoga or something of that sort. I am gonna have to get ready to film as well, and that can take surprisingly long. I don't know what we would categorize that. I guess it's self-care. We'll put that right before filming. So typically I like to reserve the evenings past like 10 p.m. to getting the apartment in order and getting ready for bed. This is something that I'm really trying to instill because sometimes I will just want to keep editing or working on something until late at night, and then I find myself at like 1 a.m. being like, but I have to do the dishes and floss my teeth. So I'm trying to get better about like, okay, after like 10 or 10:30 p.m., there's no more work going down. You're just going to be working on getting the apartment in order and getting ready for bed. And then obviously if I want to like read in bed or something, I can do that. Generally trying to protect that time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a little arrow at the bottom of the page that kind of goes down. This is what I'll usually do if I want to schedule something before or after the time slots on the page. So this will go past 10:30 for sure. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and put wind down plus apartment tidy. Just make sure that I wake up to a clean space, things aren't sitting overnight, and just makes me feel like refreshed and ready for the next day. Last thing I'm gonna schedule in here is right before my dentist appointment. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a small little bracket for a walk because I'll be walking there, and call mom. I generally do try to get a walk in the morning if I'm not going to be going to a workout class first thing in the morning, just so I'm starting my day with some form of movement. So that's basically how I time block my days. Like I said, the template will be down below if you want to download it. You can print it out, you can use it on your iPad. If you're new around here and this is your first time on my channel, hello, my name is Brielle. I post all sorts of content around life in my 20s, productivity, self-improvement. So if any of that interests you, definitely be sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, I have lots of other videos around planning, how I use Notion, how I plan my weeks. So definitely check out the productivity playlist on my channel for more of that. If you like my content and want to support me, I have my Ko-fi page linked down below where you can essentially virtually buy me a coffee, which is really fun. I'll see you guys next week with another one. I'm sweating from all the planning we just did. All right, I love you. Bye.